Hello, everybody, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. Before we get started with the webinar, we wanted to remind you that registration is required to complete your attendance quiz at the end of today's session to be eligible for your digital badge. You only need to register for the series one time. So if you have already registered for Series 24, no further action is needed. For those who have not yet registered, you can do so by using the link provided in the chat box and then following the steps listed on the slide. Today's webinar will begin in just a few minutes. See you soon. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our first session in American English Live Series 24. We are so excited that each of you are here with us today. My name is Chris, and I'll be here with you along with my colleague behind the scenes, Elena, who will be the moderator, helping answering your questions and responding to your comments during today's session. We want to let you know that today's session will be recorded and shared across various platforms. By attending and adding your comments to the chat section during today's webinar, your first name, country, and/or comment may be included in the video recording. By participating, you consent to your appearance in the recording and its use for purposes related to the work or business of FHI 360 and the U.S. Department of State. If you do not wish to appear in the recording, please do not share any comments in the chat box during the live webinar. So here's what to expect. Throughout Series 24, we will explore a variety of topics in teaching English through American media, games, and creative activities in celebration of the United States' 250th birthday. We hope that you're able to use the practical ideas that we share. So today's session will be about 60 minutes long. The presenter will present the material, and I, as your host, will ask questions and make comments too. But we really hope to hear from you, our audience, so that we can address your ideas and experiences. Please share your thoughts using the chat box during today's webinar. And now for today's webinar, Gonna Wanna Gimme More, Teaching Listening and Pronunciation Through American Music. Music is one of the most powerful and engaging tools for teaching listening and pronunciation. This session highlights how popular American songs can help learners notice and practice key features of natural speech, including contractions, reductions, and rhythm. Together, we'll examine short, classroom-ready song experts that feature authentic American English speech and discover simple listening and pronunciation activities suitable for a wide range of contexts. By the end of today's webinar, participants will have a toolkit of practical strategies and adaptable ideas for using music to build learners' listening comprehension and pronunciation skills across levels. And now we are pleased to introduce our presenter, Tiffany Lao. Tiffany is an ESL professor at Irving Valley College and Golden West College with extensive experience teaching academic writing, pronunciation, and conversation courses. She recently served as a virtual English language educator with the U.S. Department of State, designing and delivering medical English courses for nursing students in Pakistan. She has previously taught at various colleges and universities in the United States and internationally. She is also as a skill architect for Duolingo to develop CEFR aligned content for English learners, authored multiple ESL textbooks, and presented at regional and international conferences. Welcome, Tiffany. We're so happy to have you here with us.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining our session today. So my name is Tiffany Lao, and I'm really excited to be here with you. So today's session is called Gonna, Wanna, Gimme More, Teaching Listening and Pronunciation Through American English. So we'll be looking at how American songs can help learners notice and practice real, natural English, especially reduce forms, rhythm, and stress. So I'll be asking you to participate using the chat throughout. There are no right or wrong answers. This is just a place to share ideas and reflect together. So in this session, we will first identify common reduced forms found in authentic spoken English and music. Then we will learn how connected speech affects listening comprehension. And finally, we'll learn how to design scaffolded listening tasks using American music. So before we begin, I'd like to hear a little bit about all of you. How do you currently use music to support language learning in your English classes? So you can share strategies, ideas, or even say that you don't really use music much yet. Please type your response in the chat.
Yeah, everybody, let us know. As Tiffany said, how do you currently use music to support language learning in your English classes? We'd love to hear from you, our audience. So please share any of those strategies or ideas that you use in your classrooms. Please share in the chat, and I would love to share it out with our audience. So, Tiffany, let's see what we have from our audience today. So people are just talking about that. It's just, they're very excited to be here. They're very excited to use music in the classroom. Students share, one teacher saying that students share their favorite songs every week. They're really happy about talking about this. They use music for comprehension. So lots of great excitement from our audience. A couple teachers saying that they haven't used music. We've got Melissa saying that. We've got another person said that they would often have a topic of recent popular music. They use music for teaching grammar through songs. So really lots of nice comments coming through in our chat. Thank you so much, audience. Keep those coming throughout the webinar today. Back over to you, Tiffany.
Yeah, thank you all for your comments. I see a lot of great ways to use music, like Anna said, to memorize stress sounds, teach simple songs in the start of class. These are all fantastic ideas. So why should we use music? So I want to quickly highlight why music is so effective for teaching listening and pronunciation. So first, songs help students notice how real English sounds, especially rhythm, stress, and reductions, work in real life. So textbooks don't really expose them to this. So music also repeats some patterns. So it kind of helps students remember some patterns. And songs naturally show connected speech. So things like wanna, gonna, did ya, and what do you? So these are really important for understanding fast and casual English. So working with music can also boost listening confidence because students start to recognize familiar sounds across different songs. And from a teaching perspective, so using music is low prep, high engagement, and really easy to adapt for various levels. So here's today's agenda. So we'll start with reduced forms in music. Then we're going to move into listening task design. Next, we'll focus on rhythm and stress. And finally, we'll do a mini lesson demonstration. So first, let's look at connected speech. So what is connected speech? Many learners say, oh, I can understand my teacher, but I can't understand songs or movies. So connected speech is often the reason. So these three features are parts of connected speech. First one are reductions. Reductions are when whole phrases get shortened in fast speech, like going to becomes gonna. Linking is when words connect at the sound level, so often consonant to vowel, like see it or pick it up. And contractions are reduced grammatical forms that combine two written words, like I am becomes I'm. So when students learn to notice these patterns, their listening comprehension improves significantly. So I'd like to pause and hear from all of you. What challenges do your students face when listening to fast connected speech in English? So please type your response in the chat.
Yes, everybody, it's your turn. So, as Tiffany said, we'd love to hear what are some of the challenges that your students face when listening to fast connected speech. Please type in the chat box and we'll share a few comments with our whole audience. We'd love to hear from you. So let's see, Tiffany, what our audience is saying. But we've got some great comments from earlier too. We've got some very musical teachers in the audience today, so that's great. Just earlier, teachers are saying that for listening comprehension, they play the music students listen to normally to help complete the sentence, and at the end they sing the song to be familiar with the words. Some of our wonderful teachers in our audience are saying that they use music to do karaoke in the class for some fun. Um, they also do sing-alongs as a whole class. They'll sing together, and it will help them to learn some new vocabulary from the music in their classes. But based on your question here, what some of the challenges, we've got some comments coming in. We've got a teacher saying some of the challenges are that sometimes the students will get distracted. Maybe they get too excited for the song, or perhaps that there's some slang words in the lyrics of certain songs, or maybe just overall some difficult words for students to understand. I'm seeing a lot of commonalities. Teachers in our audience are saying it's difficult for their students to catch the meaning or to really understand the pronunciation, or maybe there's some like misheard lyrics. Sometimes grammar rules are not necessarily respected all the time. So if the teacher goes from teaching a grammar lesson explicitly and then uses music, students might question that. Um, and then, yes, as you mentioned, sometimes if the speech is quite fast, it's hard for students to understand that as opposed to slower space teach. So yes, overall, lots of similar comments, wonderful comments. Teachers talking about pronunciation, it could be difficult or some unknown words. Um, so yeah, sometimes one teacher points out, maybe when they listen, they don't understand, but if they have the lyrics in front of them and they read, they can understand them. So yes, our teachers do face a lot of challenges when listening to music in the classroom. So thank you, audience, for these comments. I'll pass it back over to Tiffany to help us out to solve these challenges. Back over to you, Tiffany.
Yeah, thank you all. And these are really common challenges, and it is really difficult for students to understand the meaning. So thank you all for sharing. Okay, so all the songs that we use in this webinar are free to use. So they're available to you through Wordplay. So Wordplay is a really exciting program between American English, U.S. Department of State, American Music Abroad, and American Voices to bring music and lyrics into English language classrooms across the world. So we will look at 4 songs in this session. Okay, so now let's look at our first song. It's by Sub Radio and it's titled What You Want to Hear. The genre is indie pop or pop. The level of this activity is intermediate to advanced. So the focus of this activity is on reduced forms and contractions. So let's hear a little bit of the song together.
All night, caught up in the details, text, calls, and emails from my broken friends. Long time since I thought I could fix them, and everything is mixed up and it never ends. Ooh, call up everyone I know and tell them I love them and their problems. Hey, are we all...
Okay. Such an exciting song. So let's look at one of the sample activities you can do in class. So this activity is called Pronunciation Word Hunt. So in this activity, students will actually read the lyrics of the song silently at first. They don't listen to the song yet. And when they're reading, they look for words or phrases that might sound different when sung. So the focus is to identify connected speech. So you can tell them to use symbols to mark the lyrics. For example, maybe they can try to circle reduced forms, they can underline linked words, and they can star phrases that sounds like one long word. So for example, did you go might become did you go. So these prediction steps really help students listen more actively later. So at this point, students will read quietly and use the symbols to mark the lyrics. So I remind the students that they're guessing, it's not a test. So this is an example of a student response. So other students might have different answers, and that's okay. So after that, we're going to have students share their answers together with a partner or a group, and then we listen to the song together and we check our ideas. So let's check the answers.
Why don't you tell me what you want? 9 to 5 in a nightmare. We're not scared. We're big.
So after they listen and check their answers, we can also move directly into speaking. So I might put the students into pairs and have them talk about these questions for maybe 3 to 4 minutes. So which words or phrases were hardest to hear? Did any words sound different than what they expected? And which phrase sounded like one long word? And to practice pronunciation, I may have students practice the sentence, I'll tell you what you want to hear. Okay, so I might demonstrate how I will do this in class. So Chris, our wonderful host, will play the role of a student while I play the role of a teacher. So I'll model it slowly first. So I'll say, please repeat after me. I'll tell you what you want to hear.
I'll tell you what you want to hear.
And then I'll do it a little bit more naturally with the reductions and connected speech. I'll tell you what you want to hear.
I'll tell you what you want to hear.
And then finally, we do it a little bit faster with rhythm. I'll tell you what you want to hear.
I'll tell you what you want to hear.
So this helps connect listening to pronunciation. Okay, so next we'll look at part 2, which is how to build listening tasks. So first, what is scaffolding? So scaffolding refers to some kind of temporary support that's provided by the teacher, task, or materials that help learners access challenging input and complete tasks they could not successfully do alone. So it's really important in listening because it activates the background knowledge of the students. It helps learners focus on what they should be looking for. It improves their confidence and it also makes authentic listening materials a lot more manageable. So here are some basic scaffolding techniques. For example, prediction task. So predicting a vocabulary, topic, who, what, where, using visuals like images, storyboards, album covers, using guided comprehension questions, or using keywords or partial scripts or chunks. So here's kind of a roadmap I like to use to scaffold listening tasks. So for pre-listening, they might do a prediction task. So this activates their background knowledge, sets purpose, and reduces anxiety. And then they'll listen to the song several times. So the first listen, they might listen for the main idea. So what's happening? What's the gist of this song? The second listen, they might listen for more details. So for more vocabulary, for content, for structure. And then the third listen, they might do a comprehension check. So this, you might give them a short fun quiz like true or false, matching, gap fill. And for post-listening, we might have them do a short speaking practice like to retell the song, summarize, give their opinion, maybe connect it to their own lives, have a certain like, what would you do in this situation kind of prompt. So let's hear from you again. So which scaffolding techniques do you currently use? And which one do you think you need to add or strengthen in your next listening lesson? So please share your ideas in the chat.
Yes, everybody, let us know, please, which scaffolding technique do you already use, and which one do you think you need to add or strengthen into your next listening lesson? Please let us know in the chat. So let's see, Tiffany, what we have from our wonderful audience. People are still commenting. They're so happy to be here in this webinar. They love that song, saying amazing song. People are really enjoying the session so far. So some teachers, as far as scaffolding techniques that they use, Anna in our audience is saying that prediction is used. We have another teacher which is telling us that a scaffolding technique that they use is some pre-listening activities, such as reading the title of the song or watching the background visuals. That's really good. We've got another teacher saying that they use a graphic organizer or kind of a word wall with specific lyrics or words that are going to be in the song. Another teacher saying before they play the song in the class, they might first read the lyrics and then explain the context of the song. One teacher is really highlighting the pre-listening stage. They recognize that this really needs to be strengthened. And then, yeah, other teachers are saying all the techniques that you've shared are very good and then really help a lot. And then they just use all three listening stages techniques. Then we have Victoria just saying that her scaffolding will be drilling first, reading, and then bottom-up listening. Several other teachers are talking about incorporating images for new vocabulary instead of just the words. I really like that one a lot. That's great. And yeah, as you said too, Tiffany, making personal connections and gap fills. Other teachers are using those scaffolding techniques. So yes, we've got wonderful teachers. Thank you so much, everybody, for sharing the techniques you use. Keep these comments coming throughout the webinar. And now back over to you, Tiffany.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. So wonderful comments. I love the ideas of graphic organizers and images of the new vocabulary. So let's move on to our next song, which is called Better by Tamara Jade. So the genre is pop and soul, and the level of this activity is for intermediate to advanced, and the focus of this song is on informal contractions and colloquial phrasing. So let's listen to a little bit of the song together.
New year, new me, new trees, new leaves. Finally got the hang of this thing called life. Taking it all in stride. Take your time, girl. On my own 2 feet, traveling, living this dream. Seeing places I ain't never seen before. Ready for so much more. Here you come.
beautiful song. So for scaffolding this song, I might have students do a pre-listening task, which is prediction. So I might have students just look at these few lines below. Okay, they don't listen to the song yet. So the lyrics I might show them is, we gone, be all right. Keep your head up, it's gonna get better. So I'll show students these questions, and then now I'll do a quick role play. So Chris will play the role of a student. So I might ask this question. So what do you think we gone means?
Ooh, maybe it means that we're leaving or we're going somewhere.
Oh, yeah, interesting response. Good. And do you think this song will be slow or fast?
Maybe a little bit slow, actually, I'm guessing.
Okay, okay, good. Nice predictions. Okay, so next we move on to the first listening task, which we're going to play the chorus once for the students, and we'll ask them to circle the words that they hear.
We gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. Keep your head up. It's gonna get better.
Okay, so what do you think? What were the words that you heard?
Well, Tiffany, I definitely heard we gone for sure.
Mhm,
And then I think I heard something like about your head up, keep your head up, and
mhm.
maybe like it's gonna get better, something's gonna get better. I think I heard.
Oh, fantastic. Mhm. Okay, so now we are going to ask students to listen again, and this time we're going to have them check the words that they hear.
We gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. Keep your head up. It's gonna get better.
Okay, now let's check our answers again. So, Chris, what words did you hear?
Yes, I heard gonna, we gone, and be all right.
Very nice. So, thank you. So after we listen to those few lines, we might do a quick meaning check. So we might have the students make a prediction based on the lyrics. So I might ask the students, I might ask, what does we gonna be all right mean in this song? What do you think it means? Yeah, I see some comments in the chat. Things will improve. Yeah, perfect. Really good. Okay, now after we do the meaning check, we might do a post-listening speaking practice. So we might have students practice pronunciation together by having them repeat after you. So we are gonna have to repeat. We gonna be all right. So we're gonna say slowly and then naturally and then quicker with rhythm. Okay, so let's move on to part 3, which is rhythm and stress. So we know that pronunciation is not just about individual sounds, it's also about rhythm and stress, or the music of English. So songs naturally highlight strong and weak words. So they help learners feel the rhythm of the language. So first, what is rhythm and stress? So English is more of a stress time language. So this means stress syllables create the more rhythmic beat. So this affects how real English sounds work, especially in music and fast speech. So a lot of times learners struggle because it's not because they don't know the vocabulary, but they struggle because they can't catch the stress peaks and they skip the reduced syllables. So here are some key definitions. So for example, we have word stress, which is one syllable might be louder, longer, and clearer. So for example, relax and today. We also might have sentence stress. So for example, we stress keywords like I want to go. And we have rhythm. So for rhythm, we have the beat from stress peaks. For example, you got a friend in me. So here we can see that the bolded syllables are rhythmic beats and the dots are weaker fillers. So why do we teach this? So we teach this because this helps students with listening, recognizing reductions, and linking. So I want to hear from you again. So what do your learners typically notice first when they're listening? Do they notice meaning, rhythm, or stress? And maybe how can we shift their attention to more than one thing?
Yeah, everybody, it's your turn. So please let us know about your learners and what do your learners typically notice first? Is it the meaning, rhythm, or stress? And how can we shift their attention? All right, Tiffany, we have Babakar saying meaning comes first. Um, Other people on YouTube are saying as well, meaning comes first. Lots of meanings. I'm seeing meaning. We have Joseph PS is saying stress. We have Suzanne Dye saying rhythm. So it looks like mostly meaning as I'm looking at the comments over on YouTube. Lots of meaning, meaning, meaning. Um, but some teachers saying rhythm, but obviously I think meaning. Most of our teachers, most of our audience is saying meaning. Um, yeah, and then someone says definitely meaning. It's very difficult to draw their attention to rhythm and stress. Rolf says they notice first the rhythm, and then when they want them to focus on meaning, I ask them to read the words.
Mm.
And then another student says they all focus on rhythm because they want to understand the song. So lots of wonderful comments coming through as always. Thank you so much, teachers. Back over to you, Tiffany.
Yeah, thank you all. And I also agree that a lot of times students tend to focus on the meaning first, but to improve their listening, they really should also, direct their attention to rhythm and stress more than just worrying about the meaning of the song. Okay, so let's look at our third song, which is called I Am Never, Never, Never Gonna Give Up by Tony Memmel and his band. So the genre of this song is indie. The level is for more intermediate to advanced students. The focus is on informal contractions and colloquial phrasing. And let's listen to a bit of the song together.
Get out what you put in, come lose or win. Sing this anthem of the soul. I am never, never, never gonna give up. Never, never, never gonna give up. Never, 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 never gonna give up.
That's such a fun song. So again, for the pre-listening task, I'm going to have students just first look at these lines from the lyrics. Okay, they don't listen yet. So I want to have them try to circle the words they think might be strong. So I mentioned it might be louder or longer. And I might have them underline the words they think might be faster or weaker. Okay, so for their first listening task, I might have them listen to the line once and they will not speak.
I am never, never, never gonna give up. Never, never, never gonna give up. Never, 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 never gonna give up.
So next, I might ask the students these few questions. So students, what do you think? Do you think this song sounds smooth and musical?
I'll play the role of the student for now, Tiffany. I think,
Yeah, thank you.
yeah, this song, to me, it does sound very smooth and musical for sure. Um, yeah, I really like that. It's nice, very nice, smooth and musical.
Yeah. And do you think some words sounded faster than others?
Yes, I thought so. I did think that some of the words did sound a little bit faster than the others. Absolutely.
Okay, great. So now for the next listening task, I might do something that's called shadowing, which is speaking together. So we're going to have students who listen to the same lines again, but they're going to try to speak at the same time as the singer. So we tell them, okay, do not stop even if they miss a word.
I am never, never, never gonna give up. Never, never, never gonna give up. Never, 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 never gonna give up.
So basically, shouting means to speak at the same time as the singer without stopping. So after they do this, you can do a brief survey, maybe ask you, oh, how did you feel about this activity? Was it easy, a little hard, or really hard? Now, so for the next part, we're going to have them listen again, but this time it's really fun. We're going to have them try to whisper the rhythm. Okay, so this time they're only going to focus on the rhythm and the beat. So they're going to tap or clap on the strong words if it helps them. They're going to say it with feeling, and they're going to say the line with confidence and emotion after they whisper it. So overall, whispering the rhythm first kind of reduces pressure for them. It kind of creates this low stress environment and it supports the learner's comfort and confidence. And it's really fun. Yeah, and after they do this, they might do a post-listening speaking activity. So, for example, I might have them complete and say the sentences below using natural rhythm. So I might ask them, this year I'm never gonna blank. And when things are difficult, I'm never gonna blank. So some sample answers they might give are like, this year I'm never gonna eat too much junk food. Or when things are difficult, I'm never gonna quit. Okay, now I'd like to hear from you again. So how do you bring rhythm into your lessons in a way that keeps learners engaged? Maybe share one activity or approach that works well for you. So please share your ideas in the chat.
Yes, everybody. As always, we'd love to hear from you, our wonderful audience. So please let us know, how do you bring rhythm into your classroom and into your lessons to help your students and learners stay engaged? We'd love to hear an activity or an approach that has worked really well for you. So please let us know in the comments. So let's see, Tiffany, let's see what people are saying. We have Karina just saying whisper the rhythm is a very new technique for her. So thanks for sharing that. She looks forward to doing that. We have another teacher saying that they often use clapping to teach stress, and notes that clapping helps students physically mark the stress syllables or words, making rhythm and sentences stress more concrete. It's a very good comment there. Another way that a teacher brings rhythm into their lessons is Vivi is saying that they pronounce the phrase and then the learners repeat at the same rhythm. Um, Another teacher is saying by composing similar words together. Other teachers use gamification and they play a rhythm game. Ooh, I'd love to hear more about that, what type of rhythm game they play. Another teacher is saying yes, they also do similar to the shadowing technique. They do some shadowing of some short texts. Another one of our teachers is saying that they use tongue twisters in their class.
Mm.
Another teacher saying, yeah, lots of their students love to sing in class, so they allow them to sing and join together. But yeah, lots of people all agree with the shadowing and tapping or clapping or foot stomp. Some teachers are just really excited to do this. They haven't necessarily tried this and are just grateful for today's session and are looking forward to incorporating this. Um, yeah, lots of teachers are saying like having their students sing along, so just
So try to whisper the rhythm. So for example, so I'm never, never, never gonna give up. They might whisper along and say, I'm never, never, never gonna give up. So by doing this, they kind of have to put more stress on the stronger sounds, okay? And they might have to put less stress on the weaker words. So this kind of helps them kind of notice, oh, I'm supposed to say these words a bit louder, and the other words, I'm supposed to say them a little bit softer. And whispering kind of helps them, especially like for shyer students, they might not want to sing out loud, but whispering might help them kind of build their confidence. They might be more willing to, to share with the whole class. So yeah, it's kind of fun and low stress for them.
that's great, Tiffany. Thanks for explaining that. I'll just
Yeah,
share a couple
good
more
question.
comments before we move on. I saw Sarah in our audience is saying that she uses drum circles as a technique for
Mm.
rhythm, which I really like. And then this one, I think one teacher says that they're gonna use these techniques in their classroom, so they're excited, excited. So we got some very clever teachers out there.
Excellent.
Yeah, thank you so much, everybody. Back over to you, Tiffany.
Okay, I hope you're all gonna use some of these techniques. Okay, so let's move on to part 4, which is our mini listening demonstration and our mini lesson demonstration. So now I'm going to model a complete mini lesson. So this is something you could teach in about 15 to 20 minutes. It's pretty low prep. So the sample song I'm going to use is Run To by Jessica Lynn. The genre is country, pop, or rock. The level is more for intermediate students. And the focus is on reduced forms, contractions, and emotional intonation. So before we dive into the mini lesson, let's listen to a bit of the song together.
I can't just quiet my mind. It talks all the time now, figuring us out. Where do we go? All of the questions at hand, they feel like we're consent.
Beautiful song. So for this mini lesson, I might have these few steps. So I might begin with a personal warm-up, and then students might preview selected lyrics, and then they might listen and notice some reduced forms and contractions. And then we might all practice pronunciation together. And finally, students will reflect and speak using the target language. So this is a lot of guided practice, but not a lot of explanation. This is to make it less stress and less overwhelming for the students. So first, you want to choose a pronunciation target. So what do you want students to learn? So for example, maybe you want them to learn reductions like wanna, tryin', or maybe you want them to learn contractions like I've, I'm, I'd, or maybe you want to have them to learn some kind of intonation, like some emotional rise or fall in personal statements. And for the first step, you want to have them, you want to give them a short warm-up question. So for example, you might have students think and share with a partner or with a group. So I might ask them, oh, when you feel confused, sad, or emotional, who or what do you want to run to? So some options might include a person, a place, music, or maybe you just want to be alone. After students answer this question, they might preview the lyrics. So I'll just show these few lines like, I want to run to, I'm trying my best, I've lied to myself for so long. So I might ask the students these following questions, and Chris will play the role of a student. So first, I might ask them, oh, what do you notice about these words? Do you notice anything kind of different?
Yeah,
And
they
yeah.
yeah, they are. Absolutely. They are a little different.
Mhm. And do they look formal or more informal to you?
I would say they look a little bit more informal to me.
Yeah. And what do you think wanna mean?
Is it like want to? I want
Oh,
to?
yeah. Yeah, fantastic. Really good. Yeah. So the next step, I might have students listen to maybe 30 to 40 seconds of the song, and they're going to listen and check the words that they hear. Okay, and then we might check the answers together. Yeah, and then we might move on to pronunciation. So I might model the full form of the words first, and then the more natural form of the lyrics, and have students repeat after you. For example, we might have students repeat, I want to, I want to. So they're more used to this, but then we want them to also repeat, I wanna, I wanna. Same thing with I am trying. They'll repeat, I am trying. And then I'm trying, I'm trying. And then I have lied. They'll say, I have lied. Then you might say, I've lied. And they might repeat, I've lied. So this choral practice, we want to have them first say it slowly and then more naturally, and then say it with emotion. And then we have a post-listening reflection. So this is where students can reflect on the lyrics and share with their partners and kind of think about the meaning of the song. So they can choose to answer one of these questions or both. So these are the questions I might ask them. When I feel overwhelmed, I want to run to, or I've told myself something for a long time. And they might say it, they might share this with a partner or with a group. Okay, so here's some takeaways from this session. So first, you want to choose one clear pronunciation target. You don't want to overwhelm students and jam too many things into one lesson. And you want to use short scaffolded listening. You don't want to explain too much because you want to explain less and have students try to notice more. And you want to involve them with their emotions, and you do want to end with a speaking activity where students can kind of express their own opinion. And these small choices can really make a big difference. Now, I want to hear from you again. So thinking about your own classes, which of these mini lesson components do you already use, and which one would you like to integrate maybe more intentionally?
Yeah, everybody, it's your turn again. So please think about your own context, your own classes. So Tiffany shared some great mini lesson components. And so which one do you already use in your classes? And which ones would you like to integrate more intentionally into your classes moving forward? As always, we'd love to hear from you. So please let us know in the chat. And Tiffany, while we're allowing some people to do that, just share a couple comments. People are just saying that they love the songs that you chose today. They're just really excited to use these songs in particular in their classes, and just big thanks for sharing. Um, some teachers saying, like, all of these things that you've been sharing, Tiffany, are really new for them. Um, this one teacher, Zafara, is saying that I feel on cloud nine now to be using them in my class. I'm excited and can't help but appreciate your expertise, Tiffany, and innovative ideas. That's so great. And yeah, Karima is saying just the songs that you chose, Tiffany, were just so perfectly chosen. Thank you so much. They can't wait to use them in their classes, and just a billion thanks for sharing these wonderful techniques. Um, but yeah, as far as the components for mini lessons, they just really like your plan, just like the activity plan. We have Lynn Pei Jewel saying just like the lyrics preview. Um, Another teacher is just saying like more speaking. Um, just using the lyric preview seems to be popular as well, and pre-listening, and also some reflection, and just practicing more pronunciation. So one teacher notices that they often focus a lot on speaking, and now they're encouraged and motivated to increase more listening in their classrooms. And just lots of teachers just really excited to introduce using lyrics in the classroom. Um, One teacher note says that they use listening as a warm up. And your lesson today, Tiffany, your webinar allowed them to think a little bit differently. And so they're going to use these activities and using pronunciation and reflections. So thanks a lot for all these things. So lots of thanks, lots of thanks. And then finally, a comment is just saying that all of these components are worth it, and it's worth listening and implementing into our classes for sure. Another teacher loves the phrase over the moon. It says, honestly, I'm over the moon because of today's webinar is perfect as always, with awesome new approaches. Thank you so much. Well, thank you, wonderful audience. Some great comments. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So back over to you, Tiffany.
Yeah, thank you all. And remember that all these amazing songs are available, for you to download for free on the AE Live website. And there's a lot of great activities to go with it. So, feel free to use it anytime. Okay, so in this session, we learn how music supports real-world listening and pronunciation. You learn how small focused tasks train the ear. So we don't need to have students listen to something long, just something short. It can help them train the ear. And rhythm first speaking really builds fluency. So I want to hear from you for one last time. I'd like you to reflect a little. So maybe what's one small change you can make tomorrow to support pronunciation through music? So please feel free to share ideas in the chat. Just a very small change you can do.
Yeah, everybody, what would be one small change that you would implement tomorrow in your class to help support pronunciation through music? Let us know in the chat. Um, Let's see, Tiffany. We're just getting lots of thanks from everybody. Everybody's so excited to incorporate music and supporting pronunciation through music. Everyone's looking forward to using these songs, the Sing Out Loud Wordplay, the Lyrics Project. People are excited to use these. People are like, yay, starting out 2026 with this webinar is awesome, so inspiring. I'm going to incorporate music in my classroom tomorrow to support music. Um, People are just saying, oh, they have a piano in their class, and students like to
Oh,
play
nice.
piano.
Nice.
Um, Students or teachers are looking forward to not only using these songs, but working with their students to use their own songs.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, they're going to focus on short sentences. So, yeah, the teachers are super excited as always, and they're looking forward to add to their toolbox to support pronunciation through music. So, thank you so much, everybody. Wonderful, wonderful comments. All right, Tiffany, thank you so much. Do you have any final words for our audience?
Yeah, well, thank you so much for joining our session, and thank you for everything you do as teachers. I know you guys are such great teachers and you motivate students in your own classrooms. So I hope with this session you can leave with some ideas that you can use right away. Thank you all.
Well, thank you, Tiffany. Thank you so much for sharing these practical strategies and adapting these ideas for using music to build learners' listening comprehension and pronunciation skills across all levels. And as always, we'd like to thank you, our wonderful audience, for your awesome engagement and great participation today. So please, please, please continue to share your ideas through social media or with your viewing groups after today's session ends. And so now we'll have an opportunity for you all to receive your digital badge from our team here at American English for Educators. So registered participants can complete a quiz in Canvas now. Remember that you must answer 2 out of 3 multiple choice questions correctly. Your eligibility to receive a digital badge is based on your first quiz submission score. So please take your time and make sure that you read each question carefully before submitting your quiz. If you successfully pass the quiz on your first attempt, you will get your badge immediately in Canvas. If you have not yet registered for Series 24, please use the link being shared to you now in the chat to register. Remember to register for the series only one time. Again, remember to register for the series only one time. Once you complete the registration process, you will gain access to the Canvas course and you can complete your attendance quiz. Okay, everybody, thank you so much again for joining us today. It was a wonderful webinar to kick off 2026. We hope to see you on our next webinar on Wednesday, February 18th for our next AE Live webinar. And remember, if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to our American English YouTube channel. And please turn on the notifications so you'll receive alerts when we go live. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great day. Take care.